Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
We are live,
let's go, boys,
baby, let's
and
go.
Girls.
We are live, Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Basically, the Michigan post-game show after a massive win over the Alabama Crimson Tide. All we heard all week was about this Alabama team. Can Michigan do it? Are they going to be able to beat the SEC? And guess what? You guys are watching us now. Your Michigan Wolverines, they are headed to the national championship game for the first time in the college football playoff era.
Let's go, Blue!
Give it a shot, man. We appreciate all of you guys tuning in. I'm losing my voice a little bit already, but we're going to keep this thing rolling, man. Hit that like button as you guys come in. We've got the full crew. Myself, Booner, Matt Broder.
What's up?
Lions beat reporter. We got KG.
The good luck charm, baby.
Yes,
Show
sir.
up
Yeah, you
and
are.
They start winning. Let's get it.
KG, we got Nick over there in the sound booth.
Let's go!
We got the social team as well. Kool-Aid and Travis over there hanging out in the studio while we rock the show here. Hey, we're just gonna get into this thing. Post-game show, basically.
Right into it.
That was unbelievable. You know what? It started off, I want to say this real quick. It started off, I saw a tweet, the very first play of the game. Neil Rule put out there something about, I don't know, like an interception from J.J. McCarthy. And guess what? Go look at his box score. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdowns, over 200 yards. That man, J.J. McCarthy, on the biggest stage of them all. Yes, there were some drives that were struggles, 3 and outs. There were some brutal drives. Yep. But when it came down to business to go out there and make some plays, guess what? He stepped up. Blake Corum stepped up. Jim Harbaugh stepped up. That defense, the best defense in the country, they stepped up and they made plays. I said it while we were sitting there. I would not mind at all if the Michigan Wolverines took the lead and it came down to your defense getting a stop, because they have the best defense in the country. I've been saying it all year that I think it's one of the best we've ever seen in college football. They proved it today.
They did it. They won it on a stop. Right there, 4th and 4 from the 4-yard line. They go and shut down an Alabama offense. It was epic. Like you said, J.J. McCarthy, his stat sheets read great. He didn't have the best game, but when you needed him the most, that's when J.J. McCarthy stepped up. That's when the great players step up. I saw some things about him that makes me think, I got some comments for the future, but this is about right now. They're going to the national championship.
Yeah.
They just won a Rose Bowl, the first one since 1997, and they did it against Alabama. That's Jim Harbaugh beating Nick Saban. Michigan beating Alabama. Big Ten beating the SEC. I couldn't ask for a better finish here. Go Blue.
Man. Go Blue, baby. And I can't wait.
Stop not scared.
You know what I want to know,
Stop not
too?
scared. Stop not scared.
I cannot
Stop
wait.
not scared.
I cannot wait until that truck just kept going, man.
He's never scared.
He's never. We're stoked. We're not scared. I can't wait to hear some excuses tomorrow out of some people who have been all over J.J. McCarthy. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. Some people about J.J. McCarthy, Michigan football. Can they get the job done? Guess what? 3 straight college football playoffs, 3 straight Big Ten championships, and now they have a chance next Monday to play for a national championship. The Michigan Wolverines. We're watching Texas and Washington up here, and they're going to play the winner of this game. Imagine a Michigan-Texas national championship, fellas.
You're not scared.
Imagine that. And whoever they get, Michigan's going to win that game. Honestly, too, I want to shout out as well Roman Wilson. Blake Corum, I think, is an obvious 83 yards, 1 touchdown. That catch by Roman Wilson down the stretch.
Unbelievable.
JJ got tipped a little bit, so it ended up getting a little bit higher than expected. And Roman Wilson makes the play. Unbelievable, man. The defense, how many sacks did this defense have?
Real quick, that catch was after a mistake he made. That was 2 plays after he had the blocking in the back penalty on Blake Corum's big run, and they trusted him to go back to him, and he made a play. That was an incredible catch.
Yeah, I can't even find on here the sacks. I wish we could get, like at the game, you get the box score and the pages. I want one of those. All right, we're going to do this, though. We're going to keep this thing rolling. We're going to talk Michigan. We're going to talk this game, kind of going into the future for the national championship. I want to take calls as well. I put in the chat here the call-in number. It is 313-552-6322. So everyone start calling in. We're going to take take as many calls as we can tonight. We've got about an hour or so, but we're going to go. We're going to try and maybe
before the lines start heating up, I got to get Nick's reaction. Man.
Oh, Nick.
I got to.
The reason I played the Stoke Not Scared is because our defense was ready to be stoked and not scared in that big situation to stop a guy leading that team in Nick Saban and a quarterback like Jalen Milroe. That's why they are the number one defense that Booner's been talking about all damn week. It's about this defense that you can hang your hat on in an overtime game against an SEC champion and beat them. And the Michigan Wolverines, I am so fired up right now for this team. I've been waiting my whole life for it. Their last national championship was 97. I was born in 98. Let's go. We have a chance to get one next Monday.
I want to go through this too. Let's just keep talking this game for a while because Jim Harbaugh, all year long with everything that happened with all of these investigations, Harbaugh missed half of the year watching from home. There's just so many things that this team kind of overcame. And before the game, I was listening to ESPN in College Game Day, and they were breaking it down really well to where it's like, listen, they went through all of this, and the fact that they're still able to go out there, go 13-0, go to a Rose Bowl, have a chance to win the Rose Bowl, and go and win the Rose Bowl. We see it now through all the adversity, the Connor Stallion stuff, the Burger stuff, everything that happened kind of leading up to this whole moment, going through the last 2 years, losing to TCU, getting blown out by Georgia, just everything the last 2 years where it's like, can this Michigan program, not just team program, take that next step into the national conversation? They're there the last 2 or 3 years, but they can't just get over that hump. The fact that we were able to sit here tonight and watch them get over that hump, Broder, it's all. And you know what? I love it for Jim Harbaugh. I don't care at this point right now, the whole NFL conversation. I know he got a new agent, all this stuff. To me, we're so far past that. Like, you're playing for a national championship. Whatever he does, his time the last couple years has been incredible at the end of the day. And just being able to, I don't even know, just being able to watch that game after everything that happened, man. All of the investigations, all of that crazy. I met Connor Stallions this year too, by the way. My Michigan year has been unbelievable.
Let's go.
Fantastic.
It's been unbelievable.
Fantastic.
I'm losing my voice so bad right now too.
Oh, good. I was getting worried. I was getting worried in that second half when that's where I thought that the schedule and the Michigan's lack of strength of schedule could come back to bite them. They were losing in the second half. They hadn't faced that adversity. They hadn't been trailing in the second half all season. So you worry, you wonder about how can a team, what are they going to do to fight back? What's their game plan? How are they going to make this happen? And it didn't look so great for most of that second half. But I do believe, like you said, all the adversity that they fought through, all the chaos surrounding their program, I think when it comes down to it, that team is so together. They're such a strong team. Even if it's just in that locker room. I know they got a fan base that supports them, but that team in that locker room, going through what they did, it comes out in moments like this. In a 4th and 4 at the goal line against Alabama, when you need a little extra energy, when you need that extra edge to put Nick Saban team down, that's where it came from. I'm sure of it.
There were points in this season where people like Stephen A. Smith, Pete Thamel, what's the one guy's name?
Feinbaum. Paul
Feinberger. There was points throughout the year that all those people came out and said, this Michigan football team, these players, they don't deserve to play in the college football playoffs. They shouldn't be able to go. They shouldn't be able to go out there and compete. And they're taking plays and games away from other schools and players, and then being able to go out and just win this game, man, and kind of prove all of these people wrong. Like, there was no sign stealing here. There's no investigations here. This was straight up head-to-head. Jim Harbaugh, Nick Saban, Alabama, Michigan, the biggest stage of them all at the Rose Bowl, and they went out there, down a touchdown, found a way to come back. Jim Harbaugh leads a whole game-tying drive to go tie the game up, go to overtime, get a touchdown, get a stop, and they go out there and win the Rose Bowl, man. I'm proud of this team. I think this is awesome, man. I mean, I hope, Just the Fan said Feinbaum is always a Michigan hater. All of those guys are, man. Everyone seems to be. There's so many around the state, in our network, around the whole country that just hate Michigan to hate Michigan. They have nothing they can say now. No one can say anything going forward. They got their college football playoff win. They're playing for a national championship game, and they have taken over and beaten SEC school. All those narratives that were written badly about Michigan, all gone.
Let me talk to you. Real quick, I just got to give some love to the coordinators, man. Sharon Moore, Jesse Minter. Jesse Minter absolutely dominated this game, y'all. Basically from start to finish. And then Sharon Moore He went through some adversity in this game. You know, the 3 and outs, the drop, flea flicker. But they found a way to get it done, man. So I just want to give some love to those coordinators, man. They did an absolutely great job tonight.
I wanted to hopefully we can get some press
KJ.
conferences and stuff that we can play as well. And yeah, shout out to Jesse Minter and Sharon Moore too. Those guys, man.
Jesse
all
Minter had
year
himself
long.
a day. Jesse Minter earned himself either a raise at Michigan or an NFL job if he wants
dude,
it.
They look,
it was
that
incredible.
defense is elite. I'm still waiting to get stats here on the total number of sacks, the pressures on Jalen Milroe. I mean, look, I'm just going to name out Jalen Milroe's stat real quick. His stat line: 116 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He did run for 63 yards, but just throughout the whole game, they were just getting all pressure all over him. They couldn't do anything. It felt like. I mean, they did run a little bit on us for
it was the
87
second
yards,
half. They
63.
made an adjustment. Nick Saban's a good coach.
I mean, it's the best
arguably the
coach
best of all
ever.
time. Yeah, he made adjustments at halftime, and the Michigan defense and offense for that matter, they didn't make the proper adjustments, or they weren't ready for what Nick Saban and the Alabama team came out with in the second half.
They did run, and that second half, man. It felt like there was just so many openings, and that was when you went down a touchdown. That was like the point where it was like, oh no, here we go. Everyone should drop actually in the chat here. Michigan fans should just drop Neil emojis there in the chat. We should fill this chat up right now with Neil emojis for tomorrow, and that's all that should be dropped tomorrow during BDE. It's just all Neil emojis.
The Way fan says, now that was a Fat Hog Spirit kind of win. God hates cowards. The Blue Oysters fired up tonight. That's right.
Fired.
Just a fan. Hail to the victors. Al Green H-Town. Hail to the victors. Masta Blasta Blue Nation. Let's go collect them receipts. We got a lot of Michigan fans in the chat. I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
Let's take a couple calls here. We're going to get in some calls, and then we're going to keep things going. I'm going to keep an eye out for some post-game stuff. We maybe get some videos, some post-game celebration videos, and some interviews, and we can get you guys those as well as we keep this thing rolling. Nick, who's our first caller tonight?
Yes, sir. Woody has been patiently waiting on hold. Woody, you are live on Woodward Nights.
Woody, what's up, man? How are we feeling after the win?
Oh, finally, respect has come to Michigan.
Yeah, baby, Woody.
Let's go, Woody.
Woody calling and celebrating Michigan. I love it. That's a Woody Hayes joke.
How are we
Hey,
feeling?
I wish Flan was there right now. I really do. The first person, honestly, I thought of was Flannel. When this first 10 minutes of the game started, he looked like his world was shattered. His confidence was destroyed. And look what his boys did. They brought respect to Michigan. I am so happy for you, brother. I am so happy for you, Nick Flannel. I witnessed a 1997 national championship with Michigan, and it was not real to me. This defense is no joke. This defense will bring us a national championship to Michigan. I am so excited. I am beside myself, but for you, brother, Flannel, Nick, Booner, all to you, enjoy this win. Enjoy this game today. We will be celebrating again in the future. Go Blue and go Lions!
Let's go,
Woody.
Woody!
Let's go.
Let's
Go,
go,
Blue,
baby.
Legendary
Shout
call.
out
The
Woody,
Rose
man.
Bowl.
Have as much fun as you want tonight, my friend. This job is not over, but you sound like you're having a good time. Let's go Blue. Nick, do I hear we have Freddie 313 on the line?
You know we do. We're going straight to Freddie 313. You're
Freddie.
live.
Freddie, the floor is yours.
Who's
man.
got it better than us?
Nobody!
Who's got it better than us? You go! Hey, let me talk to you. Yeah. Dude, you may not like us, but you will respect us. The month of rhetoric is over. I've had to sit here and listen to the same weak-ass, tired talking points all month. All year for some people. How can Michigan stop a mobile quarterback?
They haven't faced anyone all year. They're just going to choke like they did against TCU. They were scared when they gasped over the Bama selection during the CFP announcement. Oh, Michigan can't stop the SEC. Cheaters. As I sit here rocking my Cartier buffs, you can't say shit other than Michigan is going to the national championship. To close this out, I'll leave it short and sweet. Fuck ESPN, Bama, and the SEC, and Nick Saban's crybaby ass, and the trolls who didn't have a game to root for today, but seem to be the loudest in the room. Pretty quiet now. Job's not finished. Let's go win the Natty. Go Blue. I'm out. Appreciate it.
Right.
Freddie, thank you.
Shout out Freddie, man. Hey,
Legend.
The job is not finished. Things are keeping going here. And we're going to keep this ball rolling, man. We've got, how many more callers do we have? We have some more. I want to throw up a couple pictures before we take some callers. I put some pictures in the Woodward Knights chat. KG, you could throw them up whenever. This is it, man. The Rose Bowl, the biggest stage of them all, and then next week the national championship game. Being able to see some of these guys just celebrate in the Rose Bowl. I love some of these pictures. I sent some to KG. I saw on Twitter. It's the best, man. And like Freddie said, man, the job is not finished.
It's not.
I just remember, and there we go, JJ McCarthy. And look at that stat line with it.
Good
How
Lord.
about that? You remember last year after the loss to TCU, the picture of him standing there watching TCU celebrate and just taking all that in, going like, hey, we're going to be back here. They didn't just go back. They went to the Rose Bowl, and now he's got a rose in his mouth, threw for 221 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and just beat the best college football coach of all time.
Of all time.
Of all time. These pictures of the Rose Bowl, I think, is there one more, KG?
Yep, I got you.
Well, there's another one here. Just look at this, man. Just enjoy, fellas. I just want the fellas to enjoy, man. And the job's not finished at the end of the day.
It's not. There's just something special about the Rose Bowl, though. Like as a Michigan fan growing up and then a Michigan athlete, I always remember growing up, it's that Charles Woodson rose in his mouth. So you see the celebrations at the end. Like, you see the celebration of that national championship. And I know some of these guys on this team were too young to be alive during that time. But when you go to Michigan, especially when you're on the Michigan football team, they teach that tradition, that history. They make sure that if you come to Michigan, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, and you know exactly what the goal is at the end of the day. So they've seen all the highlights, all the pictures, everything about that Rose Bowl national championship back in '97. And this for these kids, for this group, it can't feel any better right now. It's not over.
Think about
but
this.
This moment right now is special.
A lot of those guys came back, man. There's a lot of veterans on this team who have played in 2 of them. JJ McCarthy's been a part of 2 teams. A lot of these guys have been a part of 2 or 3 college football playoff teams. Blake Corum chose to came back after a huge injury where he wasn't able to play last year. And he kind of set that tone to where it said he could have gone to the NFL and got drafted in the top 4 rounds probably. But guess what? He was like, no, I'm coming back because the job's not finished. I wanted to win a national championship here. I came here for a reason. We've been this close to it, and now they're 1 win away from getting that job done. 1 win closer than they've ever been. So that's what kind of pumps me up about all of this here. I'm excited, and to what Freddie said is at that point when the Michigan Wolverines were down a touchdown, and all the people were in the chat trolling us. All these Michigan State fans. I still see people in here. I want to get what's his name real quick. Hold on, let me find Detroit Supremacy. Oh, Booner, you went to SVSU. Detroit Supremacy. I don't care who you are. I don't care. That we just won the Rose Bowl. Go talk about all these. It's the biggest university in the world.
And Booner, he didn't go to Alabama or Texas or Washington. He's saying
Nowhere.
Penix is going to throw 5. Booner, you're a Michigan man. You're a Michigan fan. You're good. You've been on Michigan all season. You were on them all last season. You're
I've been on them my whole life.
I'll sign. Check.
Hey, boys.
Michigan man.
Yeah, Booner, you're
ask
good.
Braylon Edwards. I'm sure he'll say I could be a Michigan man
boys,
as well.
People have been wondering if I'm going to take calls from any of these trolls.
Thanks for getting me hard, JB.
Oh, fuck me.
Wrong
that was the
one.
worst.
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
I'm not taking calls from any of you trolls tonight. Let's go.
And LFIV there. Those who stay
was
will
the
be
worst
champions.
Yes.
And that's it, man. Michigan, as a Michigan fan for the last 20 years, man, we've been through it, man. Michigan fans have been through it.
And this is one of the best conversation for another day, but that statement, those who stay will be champions, is going to become more important, and just in terms of the landscape of college athletics, especially college football. You hope all of these coaches hope, and I don't even know if it's possible in the current NIL landscape, you hope to build a team. You have a group of seniors who've been at your school for 4 years, regardless of how much money they're getting paid. That's the type of thing Jim Harbaugh has been trying to build. He's built the foundation. Who knows what's next, except for 1 week from today in Dallas.
I know.
Going
I'm excited
back to
right now.
Dallas.
A little update, too, for you guys, if you guys are wondering. Washington is up 7-0 versus Texas, but Texas just got into the goal line. First and goal at the 6-yard line in the first quarter. Let's keep callers going. Let's keep them going. My voice is, I like to listen to some callers. My voice is shot.
Got you right here, Boone. I'm going to Taylor in Midland. Taylor, you're live on Woodward Nights.
Boys,
Let's go, Taylor. How are you feeling after that big win? Talk to us.
finally! Oh, finally, boys. After last night's debacle, I'm not even going to get into it because it's just going to get me going again. I can't have that happen, but holy shit, boys. I am excited as I've been in years, man. I am shaking still. It's been
Taylor, have you grown up a
2 hours
Michigan
since the
fan?
game. Oh, man, I've lived in Midland, Michigan my entire life, man. I'm 26 now. I've lived in Michigan my whole life. I've loved Michigan, been Wolverine, loved Lions, been a diehard fan, man. It's been tough, but this one day is all that matters right now to me.
It is, hey, and it's a lot of guys, a lot of fans, man, have been waiting for this. Like, that's where I go back, Taylor, to like these old time where you could go back to all of these different eras of Michigan football. I mean, when was the last time Michigan has been this good?
Just before I got there in
Yeah,
2008,
this
they were
defense,
okay.
this defense between the Lions yesterday and we got some hard-nosed defenses in Michigan, man. I'm telling you that right now, dude. We are dogs everywhere.
Taylor,
Like,
what was your favorite
man.
part of that game, or what was a memorable moment, good or bad?
Man, you were talking about Wilson having that huge penalty and then coming back and just snagging an absolute snipe from J.J. McCarthy that got tipped a little bit and went up. And he just came down with it. It was so beautiful, so masterful, so amazing. That was easily my favorite play in the adversity. Love it.
Let's go, Taylor.
I
Taylor,
love
man,
that,
we
Taylor.
appreciate you.
Appreciate
Man,
you, Taylor.
I'm
You
fired up, boys.
Hey, call in anytime to Woodward Nights. We're going to keep this thing rolling. We appreciate you a ton, Taylor. Out in Midland. Shout out to 989 as well, Saginaw Valley.
Midland
Sag
down.
nasty.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Yeah, whoever is next,
Let's
send
keep
them
the
through,
next
baby.
caller in, man.
Yes, sir. We're going to go to Nick in Atlanta. He was celebrating down there. Nick, you're live.
Nick and ATL.
Nick at night.
Yo, fellas, let me tell you, I'm in the heart of SEC country, man. When I tell you, I'm in a neighborhood of Alabama fans, all right? When I tell you we won, I ran outside, and I shouted "Go Blue" from the top of my lungs, and they are pissed. And I love it. This is amazing.
We need you. We
This
need
is
people
everything
like
I
you
want.
around the country to spread that Michigan
And Nick,
love.
how crazy does it feel that and it wasn't just like this year, but for years and years and years? Oh, the SEC. Oh, Michigan can't compete. And you go up against not just any SEC school, Nick Saban, Alabama, who I'm sure down there in Atlanta, all around this, like down in the South, everyone in SEC country is just all over Alabama and Nick Saban. How big of a deal is that, man? How are we feeling?
It's honestly, bro. It's I can't even put it into words. Last time Michigan was this good, I was like in kindergarten, bro. So, but what I really want to call out, man, is that I think it was like in the third quarter, bro. Like when Alabama got on little one, they never looked like the moment was too big.
Yep.
And that was the thing. Like they never looked like they kept their composure. And that is what really, I think, stood out and made the difference in this game, man. They were coached like right mentally.
I love that. Hey, Nick, we appreciate you calling in a ton. I'm going to actually, we appreciate you. You can call into Woodward Nights anytime you want, Nick. We appreciate that input. And go blue, baby. Real quick before we take another caller, I want to talk about what he said there, the composure.
Yes.
That opens up another topic here for us. And make sure you guys call in. I'm going to talk about this a little bit. But the call-in number is 313-552-6322. Make sure to call in. We're taking calls for the next hour or so. This is what I want to talk about, though, with Nick's call. This is what I want to talk about. The composure of this team. This is something the last 2 years in the college football playoffs. One with Georgia, you get down big. Obviously, one of the best college football teams of all time, and you kind of break off there and you don't win that game. But last year versus TCU, the pick sixes, the turnovers, the On defense, you're just giving up big plays to Quentin Johnston. Like all of that, the composure, you could see a difference from last year to this year. You could see that Jim had these guys ready. They're more mature. They took that step to not just being a football team and a great team in this country, being 13-0 and then losing your first guy. No, they took that step where they're like, we've been here now. We know what it takes to win a championship game. There's a lot of programs and a lot of teams that they're always trying, whether it's the NFL, NBA, baseball, you're always trying to get over that hump if you have a great team. Look at like the Buffalo Bills, man. They're great every year. They can't figure out that hump in the playoffs to kind of get over it. Michigan just did that. They just proved to you, Jim Harbaugh, J.J. McCarthy, that defense, Jesse Minter, they just proved to you they can play with anyone, and they are the best there is right now. I don't care who they play next week. They are going to win that football game next week versus Washington, versus Texas, and Michigan will win a national championship this year.
Yes.
Put that on the board.
Yeah.
This team today showed they played the best team in the second best team in the college football playoffs in Bama, and they persevered after being down a touchdown versus the greatest coach of all time. Mm-hmm. When you get that mentality, that championship mentality, that's when things start to change for you. And they did that today, and it was very, very clear, man. You could tell. Like, they didn't waver at all when it came down to it.
They didn't. Shout out 91 Reasons You Lose. You've been staying strong this whole game. I appreciate you. But you're right. Of all the things that have been going on, not just this year, but dating even all the way back to last year, especially just hearing all this noise, all the talking heads, everybody talking about this program in such a negative light. These players, and remember, Jim Harbaugh was suspended for 6 games this season. They've had different coaches. They could have easily folded this season, but they stayed tight. They kept their composure in terms of the grand scheme of the entire season. We know how hard it is to keep our composure. Just with some trolls in the chat, or for me, the whole golf situation. Like, it's hard to keep your composure, and they did it on the biggest stage. They just went out and won a Rose Bowl against Alabama. This team is special.
It is. Hey, Uncle Neil Soft Feet, I'm not going to chill. I'm going to keep this thing going. They just wanted the Rose Bowl. I don't know what you want us to do up here right now. They just proved every single doubter wrong. This has been the thing for the last 2 years. Can they win at this stage? And they just did it. Let's keep the callers coming in, baby.
Yes, sir. Before we get to them real quick, how about this D-line?
Bro.
Yes, dude, Josiah Stewart, what was it? In the backfield twice. Another really good tackle on Milroe before he escaped the last man. This defensive line has showed up all year. Mason Graham. Kenneth Grant had a couple opportunities. I know he missed that one big tackle. He's going to get it back in the natty. I can promise you that. McGregor starting this game off, coming out of a cannon right in there for a sack. And I'm going to lead this one right to Jackson in Vegas. Jackson, you're live.
Jackson, what's up?
Hey, how we doing? First of all, I just want to say it's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. It's great
to be a Michigan Wolverine.
Guys, we did it. I'm so happy. I am so proud. Go Blue.
Jackson, we love you.
Shout
Go Blue,
out,
baby.
Jackson.
Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can. Can you hear us?
I don't know if you can hear us.
Hello?
We can hear you, and that was an epic call.
We love you, Jackson.
Can you hear us? Well, I appreciate you
love
calling
it,
in. We
Jackson.
heard you.
Hey, real quick.
We heard you.
Real quick, the stats here on the defense.
Let it fly.
6 sacks and 10 tackles for a loss.
Nice.
That is elite, man. Versus an Alabama offensive line, that is elite. They showed out. That's why, and I said it all year long. I said it multiple times on pregame shows I've been on, postgame shows, on the streams. This is the best defense in the country by far. This is good. I'm not going to compare them to the Georgia defense 2 years ago, but I'm going to say they're one of the top ones that you've seen in college football. And this is the best Michigan defense that you've seen since Jim Harbaugh's taken over. Jesse Minter has his team going at a different level right now. And it's like, for the fact that you can sit there and we're sitting there on the stream talking about, hey, if our defense needs to get a stop to win the game, I almost would rather have that than the ball in our offense's hands. Like, that's how you know how elite your defense is, if they can go up and get a stop like that and make a difference.
What they did all day on Jalen Milroe, they kept him in the pocket. They got pressure from all sides, so he wasn't able to scramble all day long. He did beat him on a couple plays, but for the most part, they contained him, and that's where they got those sacks. Same on the flip side, they didn't allow him to complete the deep throws. That's his other specialty, passes over 20 yards.
Yep.
So when you limit his best part of his games, the best part of Jalen Milroe's games, your chances go up so much higher, and that's what they did. Special teams is a whole nother story, We're going to keep it positive right now. We're going to take this call. But he got to call that defensive line, like Nick said.
I forgot all about we won the football game. The special teams win over I forgot all about it.
Got to fix that though.
That was brutal, man. Oh my gosh.
Snap it.
That was brutal.
Nick, who we got?
Yeah, get it cleaned up for next game. That's for sure. We're gonna go to Fletch in Central Florida. Fletch, you're live.
Fletch.
Hello.
Hey, Fletch. You're on Woodward Nights. How are we feeling after that win?
Hello. I hear you.
You can hear us. Can you hear us?
Fletch, you're talking. You're live on air.
Are we having call issues right now?
Hello.
We maybe have some call issues for a moment.
All right, we'll stop a call. Let's do this. Let's hit break real quick. We'll go to a quick break, run through a couple commercials here, and when we come back, we're going to keep talking some Michigan. We're going to keep this thing rolling. We got about 30 more minutes left, so we're going to keep taking calls. We're going to figure out this call situation here.
Yeah,
voice might be done by the end of the night. To be honest,
It might. Are we sneaking some Lions up? If people are looking,
we may try and sneak some Lions in.
All right.
It's just right now we're on such a high with Michigan. I don't know what we
I just want to
do
encourage if people are here to talk Michigan a little bit. I'll tell them they can stay, or if we're not. Anyways, come on back. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Yep, we'll be right back.
Oh, I thought you was doing a live read.
No, all good. We're just gonna go to break. Can you just play a sweeper, play a commercial?
Landscapers.
I think our mics are hot.
I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend?
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Basically the Michigan post-game show. We're rolling with that, but it is a Woodward Nights version here, so we're rolling this thing. We're going to keep this ball rolling. I think in a second we're going to have some callers. One topic I want to talk about before we get into callers here, again, Broder, and I want to go around the room on this one, but there's a man in Michigan right now, in Ann Arbor. Well, right now he's in Pasadena, but he's out of Ann Arbor, and I want to talk about this running back, man, Blake Corum. The time at Michigan he's had 55 touchdowns this year, 24 touchdowns last year, 18 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards this year, 1,400 last year. I think, and I've heard Flannel say this a few times, to where if Blake Corum helps lead Michigan to a national championship or even a college football playoff win, he is one of the best ever to wear the maize and blue, man, and put on that Michigan jersey and that helmet. So that's a guy that I think, honestly, he has been one of those turning players and kind of those guys in your program. And you guys saw his stats there, man, today. 19 carries, like 82 yards, a touchdown. One of the biggest touchdowns, too, towards the end. Like he
that's a man run. Remember his man run?
He dominated, man. And he's done this week after week for years now. He didn't just be like, I'm just going to go to Michigan and then we'll just win and then I'll go to the... No, that man chose to come back. He said last year he had a major knee injury and he missed the college football playoffs. He wasn't able to play in the Big Ten championship game. He wasn't able to play in the Ohio State game. And he said, listen, I came here to win championships. Just like the saying is, those who stay will be champions. Blake Corum took that to heart and he stayed, and now he just won a Rose Bowl. He beat Ohio State. He won a Big Ten championship again. Like he is one of the best ever to play at Michigan, man. And I wanted to shout him out a little bit. I'll go around the room here about Blake Corum as well, brother. I'll go to you
he
first.
Is the result of those who stay will be champions. Like that is what it is for, and it worked out for a guy like Blake Corum. For a guy like Zach Zinter, he still gets to celebrate this, even though he can't be on the field. But what I love about this, and again, this is a longer conversation for another time, but this is the value of NIL. He had the opportunity, and NIL is all jacked up, and it's not set up where it works like this every time, but to have the opportunity to come back to school, to not be forced to enter the NFL draft when you're gonna lose money because of your knee injury, but you got to find a way to support your family or whatever the case may be. He was able to come back and chase a national championship, to try to go get another Big Ten championship because he could come back, still earn a little money on the side through NIL, but help this team rehab at Michigan, rehab and get back to this moment where he can now put a rose in his mouth and celebrate with his team as Rose Bowl champions on their way to the Natty Championship.
All right, what about you, KG? How you feel about that?
Hey, man, you can't say enough about Blake Corum and just his journey through Michigan. I know he kind of lost a step this year. A lot was made about that, him coming back from his knee injury, but he's done nothing but just ball, man. And you got to just give it up. He came in so big in this game, and you want to see him have that kind of success after the kind of turbulent time he's had at Michigan. But when you look at it totality wise, he's definitely one of the best backs to ever come through this school, just hands down.
Definitely.
Nick?
Definitely agree with you, KG. And one number I wanted to point out is the number 57. 57 career touchdowns for Blake Corum.
Yeah.
The guy is an absolute monster. He's the bowling ball that does not stop. Get him in a goal line situation, that guy is scoring. What did he do tonight? Came up big with a touchdown. This guy, and that one was receiving. It was you don't see that too much from Blake Corum, but this guy means everything to this program. He is the leader of this offense, and we saw it tonight. Super happy for Blake Corum and super happy for this team.
Yeah, you couldn't feel better. It's a team that seems so strong. They're so tight and led by J.J. McCarthy, their quarterback, who's now, if that graphic was correct on the Fox or the ESPN stream, he's now tied for third place as the highest winning percentage in college football history, tied with Jameis Winston at 26-1, I believe. So he has a chance to now go into sole possession of third place. The top two are like 45-0 back in the day. So that's not easy to do. Like you're not just a scrub quarterback and that happens. He's a special player. Forget about the whole NFL, his future. That as a college quarterback, he's turning himself. He might go down as the best Michigan quarterback of all time.
J.J. McCarthy,
maybe.
Yes,
if he wins a national championship, without a doubt.
Yes, I would say that as well. I full-heartedly agree with that. 3 touchdowns, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And if he puts up some numbers next week and they go out to win a national championship, yes. And there are some people in the chat too that are like, a couple people, JJ's not the reason they won this. I understand the defense is that. Like, the defense is the heart of this team.
They're the difference maker.
It's like when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, who's their guy? Patrick Mahomes. The Michigan Wolverines, who's their guy? Their defense. Like, that's the thing that we do know, and I think everyone around the country understands. That's why, again, I'm going to keep going back to it. When we say, hey, would rather have our defense on the field to end this football game, and that is exactly what happened. A 4th and 3 goal line stand at the 3-yard line, and they got that done. I mean, that's incredible by this team, man. I love this football team. I'm just going to throw that there, man.
And I did see some, like, this game tonight made me think that JJ should come back. Like, I don't know what his situation is. It's his decision, but there are a few things to become an NFL quarterback. He's got to work on some things. Some touch.
It was shown tonight as well.
Yeah, he threw every ball was 100 miles per hour. You got to figure out how to take some off of it in certain times. Also, how many passes were batted down at the line of scrimmage? Felt like the Alabama defenders, they always at the last second got their hands up and tipped the ball. Worked out in their favor, luckily because of Roman Wilson. They're at the end, but there are little things to become a successful NFL quarterback. He's got to work on some things, so he may consider coming back, but nonetheless. He was very much a reason why Michigan won.
Yeah, he made some big time throws, no doubt
He
about
did.
it.
Yeah.
In the chat here, Danny G said Neil might go down as the biggest clown. I don't want to call my friends clown. I love Neil. I don't know clowns. But I'm going to say this. For a Michigan team and program who has had the success that they've had the last 3 years, and for some people to go at them as hard as they did because they just couldn't win a college football playoff game, when there's other teams in this state who have struggled for years now. There are teams in the Big Ten who have been bad for years now and can't even get over the hump in the Big Ten. And Michigan's been able to do that the last 3 years. And then they just went. And now the excuses were SEC, college football playoff. Now they did that. There's no conversation going forward anymore.
Talk is cheap,
and if you want to
motherfucker.
make up these excuses and find different angles and content and this and that, you're just going to be wrong. You continue to be wrong because they're going to go win a national championship next Monday, and they're going to go finish the job. And there will be nothing else that can be said about this program and this team because they went out and did. I remember 3 or 4 years ago, people were, oh, they'll never do this, and then they go and win their first Big Ten. Oh, and then the goalposts just keep getting moved, and the goalpost gets moved, and it gets moved, and it gets moved. Let's see where we move the goalposts now. Don't go out here and move the goalposts. Now you got to win the national. No, don't move goalposts now. I'll go back and start clipping some people for some goalposts if we want to play that game. All right, let's take some more callers here, man.
Yes, sir. We're going to go to Fletch in Central Florida. Fletch, let's get it. You're live on air.
Can you hear me now?
Fletch, can you hear us? What's up,
Hello?
man? Can you hear us, Fletch?
Fletch going
All right,
once.
we're going to go right to Thomas in California.
This is
If
probably-
this one doesn't work out,
I'm guessing
we'll
it's
see
on
what's up.
our end.
Thomas, you are live.
Yes, I was saying I'm happy for Michigan that they won the game. Which matchup would you rather guys face, Washington or Texas?
Can you hear us?
I don't think
he can hear us.
I think our calls are on. We're messing up something on our end.
How
Let's
about
do this. Let's get into that, though.
Yeah, that's a great question. What if we had people call in just with one state? We aren't going to be able to hear you, but call in and ask us a question or a statement or something, or don't. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, if you guys have like a one question statement, just call in. We'll take it and then we'll keep rolling and answer your question for you. We apologize for the technical errors. We'll get those things fixed out. But that's a great question. We did talk about that on break. We were like, hey, what else can we go? What do you guys want to talk about here? We're watching Texas right now versus Washington, 7-7. Washington's marching down the field. If I'm being completely honest, I think, and I've been very adamant that I do think Texas is the best team. I would rather face Texas, though, over Washington. Even though I think Texas is the best team, as crazy as that sounds, and I think Texas wins this game. Washington, with Michael Penix, the mobility, all of that. You saw today a little bit with Jalen Milroe. I think Michael Penix, he's a lot. We already know it. He's a lot better than
he
Jalen
can make
Milroe.
more happen in the pocket when things break
and his
down.
arms, like his arm is 10 times better.
And he's a lefty.
He can move. He's quicker. He's faster. Like he was a Heisman candidate. So that's the thing where I'm like, I would rather go up against a Quinn Ewers in Texas than go up against a guy like him, because we saw today what happened with Jalen Milroe. At times he was able to get out and make some plays and extend some drives that you don't want. You can't afford to be extended. And right there, like I just thought they just have some dudes on Washington. I think Texas wins this game. I would rather go up against Texas at the end of the day, though.
Yeah, I think Texas has a better defense, but there's something unpredictably explosive about Washington. I guess maybe not even unpredictable. It's Michael Penix. He's special, and they can score points. But especially looking back at this game, like I think the Michigan secondary, they got the athletes to stick with some of these high-powered offenses, even if they haven't played a shootout game. You know, they haven't gotten it to a 40-point shootout with Washington. But I think they got the athletes. They were with Alabama's receivers the entire game.
Yeah.
It's not that Jalen Milroe missed deep throws. They were right there, made some really great pass deflections. Whether you're talking Will Johnson or Sanders, still they played great tonight. That secondary.
Who would you rather play again?
I gotta think. Don't lock me into this, but I'm actually thinking Texas. No, don't. Then I'm not going to give you a.
But I heard Texas.
Hey, I got to think about this a little more, but. As of right now, I want to take Texas. And that story is awesome.
I do want to, and as well, too, if you do think about Washington, I've said it all year that Washington, they've been in so many close games. They know how to win close games, man. Michigan, this was like one of their first, this is the first game or second game in J.J. McCarthy's career to where he came back from down in the fourth quarter to go win. So they always dominate in games. Washington has that kind of late game experience, similar to kind of Alabama a little bit, but Washington, if you go look at their games, man, they've been in some battles. So they're battle tested. They know what it takes down the stretch. Again, that's why maybe Texas as well, but I'm on that Texas bandwagon to where I would rather see imagine a Michigan-Texas game, national championship.
Might as well run through them on the way.
Imagine
Might
that.
as well.
I want it.
We'll take them all.
As much as I think Washington's going to win this game, I want Texas because I think Michigan would absolutely dominate the Longhorns in the championship. I don't think that they're going to get there. I think Washington does win this game. I just think that offense is on a different level that I've seen in a lot of years. Also, on the phone side of things, we are not getting... They cannot hear you guys, so I'm still trying to problem shoot that. But KG, who would you rather play?
Francis?
This is tough, man, because I predicted Washington would beat Texas. Michael Penix is the better quarterback. I feel like that would do more for us. But I wouldn't be mad at a Michigan-Texas national championship. Talk about what the college football people want. You know, that's like the two biggest brands going against each other. You know they want to see Michigan and Texas.
If it is all scripted, that is the script they would want at the end. Michigan versus Alabama in the Rose Bowl and Michigan versus Texas, or Alabama versus Texas, but really Michigan versus Texas, especially with everything going around with the program these last couple years.
I wanted to see
typically watch a natty championship with the blue in it,
right?
Typically, like on sports books and stuff, you can kind of look ahead at games and see like if they were to play Michigan or Texas, this would be it. This would be it. I'm interested to see if Michigan, like what the spread would be versus both of those games. To be honest, I'm guessing they're waiting to see kind of what happens here, but I would love to see kind of a spread between both of these.
What
games.
do you guys think about this? This is a comment from Kalamazoo in the chat. I don't think it matters who we play. We as in Michigan, they're not going to be able to stop the run of Michigan or the pass rush. Agreed. I agreed. I think Michigan is a stronger team in every aspect except maybe, I don't know, would you take... You got to take Penix over McCarthy at this moment, right?
Oh, yeah. Penix was a Heisman finals.
Yeah, so, but in terms of team, they're better than both the teams, so bring them both on. Bring either one.
And two, with Penix is just those one plays, like you can just get killed by those, and that's like what happens. You probably already saw it in this Washington game. He can just, that deep ball. You said it with Jalen Milroe. Yes, Michigan that secondary might have been there, but Michael Penix will hurt you. Like he will kill you, and that's what it is. If you have one slip up, Jalen Milroe can't kill you. Michael Penix will. That's the difference between these two teams, and he has the weapons to do so. So that's why I'm interested. I really want to see, no matter who they play, though, like KG said with the run game and that defense, I want to see next week Michigan ground and pound more than they did. It felt like to start the game, you saw the first possession, it was 3 straight passes, 3 and out. You get the ball right back, and there was that interception, or not interception, but almost interception. And then it just felt like all game. They just kept trying to get J.J. McCarthy going. And it was like, if you just give the ball to Blake Corum and let him work, every time he gets 4 or 5 yards. Every time. There was a couple times he got stuffed. That was 1 every 5 carries. So I think next week the focus needs to be, we're going to run the ball on whoever we're playing. We're going to dominate there, and we're going to control the time of possession and win this football game.
Sounds like you both might agree with this comment from Steve Lehman. Just a word of advice for Harbaugh. Stop trying to be cute with the plays.
Yeah. And that's a Sharon Moore thing, too, where there was time. Like, you saw the 2 trick plays they tried today. The one with Donovan Edwards, who almost overthrew in JJ, and he had to go up and catch the ball. And then the next one, the flea flicker, where Blake Corum tried to flick it back, and it was short. Like, every time they tried to do something cute and like, all nifty, it just didn't work. And it was like, dude, you guys, if you go watch every single possession they had where they marched down the field, it's just like the Lions, man. It's establish the run, go do what you're best at, use your offensive line that's one of the best in the country, and control the time of possession, because your defense is going to get you the ball back, and you have to reward your defense, man. And they struggled to do that today. And Saban made some great adjustments, man. At the end of the day, he made some adjustments into the second half, and it killed us. But they were still able to figure a way out to get it done.
Booner, to your point right there, when they are able to establish a run like that, they are able to lean on the play action. Jared Goff and J.J. McCarthy, that is when they are at their absolute best, throwing the ball downfield on some crossing routes. That's when they're elite, and if we can run the ball, we can beat anybody to set up that play action.
Yeah, it's just about like the Donovan Edwards. Like there's something, and I don't want to get negative here, Nick. You asked, you're like, let's talk Donovan, but he struggled as well in the run game. It's you have to
any Donovan but Wilson.
You are right now. Listen, fellas, you are 60 minutes away from winning a national championship and bringing that to Ann Arbor and back here to the fans. You are one win away from winning a national championship. You lean on your best player. You lean on what got you there. On next Monday night, you lean on Blake Corum. That is your job. That is what you do. You go out there, you lean on your heart of your team and on Blake Corum and run the ball down their throats. JJ will be him. They will have the chance. When you're running the ball, they will have a chance to throw to Colston Loveland, Roman Wilson, and get the ball out to those guys. But next week, you have 60 more minutes of football for the rest of your lives. 60 minutes to go win a national championship and make history. They need to give the ball to Blake Corum next week and dominate in the run game.
Agreed, Boone. Oh, my bad. All right, we're going to Keith in Arizona. Let's go, Keith. You're live on air.
Keith,
can you hear us? What's up, man? Can you hear us? Can we get a thumbs up or can you hear us?
Keith, you're live on air.
You talk to him next.
Yeah, you can't hear.
All right, we're just done with calls.
Yeah,
we're done with calls. Let's stop trying that. That's not going to work. All right, brother, let's go to break. When we come back, we're going to keep this thing rolling. Everyone right now, maybe we'll go over 10 o'clock. I'll ask the guys around the room and see how long we can all stay for. Start dropping some Michigan questions. We can't take callers right now, so we'll start answering questions and getting some stuff from you guys here. So everyone, just start dropping those questions for us. We'll be right back. It is Woodward Nights. We'll see you guys in a minute.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Let's go to the Natty. Come on.
Come on.
It's all about our defense.
Let's go.
All year long. 4th and 3. 4th and goal.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my gosh, man! First of all, Flannel owes me a high five.
Yeah, you got left hanging.
Flannel
there.
owes me a high five. Hey, shout out! Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. We are live 8 to 10, Mondays through Fridays. I know it is a little bit of a different time here for us on New Year's Day. We're the only ones running today. They say, hey, who wants to show up? We all put our hands up and say, hey, we want to do our show for the people, man.
Damn right.
We are the people's champ here on this show. Shout out to Flannel for that reaction, too. That man is nuts when it comes to Michigan reactions and Michigan football. I love Flannel so much, man.
We were trying to convince him to stay, but as a good host, he's holding his take for tomorrow morning. So tune in to the Morning Woodward show at 8 o'clock. You know Flannel. Flannel's gonna have a field day. Like he's gonna say a lot of the things we're not saying right now at some people.
He's gonna
let it fly.
I'm sure he's gonna show up in the cutoff, flannel cutoff. Like
I sure hope so.
He's gonna have everything ready. He's gonna have it all ready. Hey, appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys hit that like button while you're here, we would appreciate that. We're gonna keep this thing rolling. My voice is 50% right now. But we've got the man, the myth, the legend,
buffs.
Brandon Kool-Aid.
Let's go. Got
Kool-Aid.
the victory buffs on, man. Let's rock, man. Hey, you know what? Shout out to KG as well. As soon as Kenny walked into the building,
yes, sir,
everything started to change for Michigan football, man.
Yes, and real, the ultimate team player, Darren McCarty, and let me spin this in a good way. He took an honest approach after that third. He says, all right, guys, I know you need some vibe change. I'm going to take off. We always want D-Mac here, but what a team player doing that too.
Actually, I'm going to say this real quick as well, because D-Mac is the man. He texted me as soon as he walked out. He probably drove down the street or whatever. He texted me and said, had to change the momentum, bro. That's the only text I got from D-Mac.
Shout out D-Mac.
And I texted back, as soon as he left, the fumble happened and things started to turn, and KG showed up, things started to turn. I was like, man, hey, how about that, man?
It's a Hall of Fame player. Kool-Aid, what'd you think about that game? You've been grinding on social, but you came and you were watching with us.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, and shout out to Travis, too, over here.
Shout out.
In that clip, man, that reaction clip you'll see me on my phone, I was preparing the breaking news graphic. I had faith, like, yo, it's about to go down. And as soon as they scored, I was like, Travis, you got to finish this, bro. You got to finish the graphic. Man, like it was amazing because down the stretch is when they started to kind of go back to how they looked in the first half of the game, controlling the line of scrimmage. And they're like Roman Wilson, man. Heck of a catch. Like that felt like it was going to be 6 the other way for Bama if he doesn't pull that catch out. And then, like we kept saying, put it in the hands of Blake Corum, man. Let him go out there, your best player, and do work. And he absolutely took over down the stretch, man, in that overtime game. The defense showed up big. I just can't stop cheesing right now, man.
Yeah.
Like, yo, go blue, man. Go blue.
And side note, your Pistons got that dub this weekend.
Hey, you know what?
Let's
they
go.
got a dub. It looks like they're gonna get smacked tonight, but it doesn't matter because it's only one loss in a row.
Yeah,
they were probably partying pretty hard after that first dub. Honestly, 28 straight.
Did they lose
you gotta
today?
celebrate that.
They're getting popped right now.
Oh man,
Whatever,
I'm glad they got that out of the way, man.
They got that one. It was it's just been an emotional weekend, just all over the place.
Oh yeah, hey, Kool-Aid, I want to ask you too. Heading into next Monday, obviously the national championship game. What are you like? How are we feeling? Because I'm pretty confident myself. I'm sure a lot of other Michigan fans very confident after seeing that defense versus Alabama. Confidence level heading into the national championship game. How are we feeling?
Bro, we just beat Bama. We just beat the greatest college football coach of all time. We just beat the SEC champion. This is Michigan football, and this year they've been on an absolute mission, bro. My confidence right now is 11 out of 10. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but right now I am on that whatever Kool-Aid you be drinking, that Booner Path Kool-Aid, man. That's what I'm on right now, bro. I really feel confident going into the national championship game. Obviously, there's some things to clean up, but they didn't play perfect, and they still took out Alabama.
Yeah. That's the thing. I kept saying that too at the first half. It was 13-10 at halftime, and they had so many mistakes. The field goal situation, the muffed punt. It was just on offense, just everything was going wrong for them, and they were still able to have a 13-10 lead. And then I remember just thinking in my head, fourth quarter, you're down a touchdown, and you still have a chance with 10 minutes left to get a stop, get a ball back, get another stop, potentially another chance at it. And they almost had a chance. If that muff putt in the last 30 seconds didn't happen, they probably have a chance to go march down the field for a couple plays to get an opportunity with the field goal because you had 2 timeouts left. So they've kept putting themselves in position to keep trying to do that. I'm telling you, Kool-Aid, I mean, you've seen championship basketball, football. what they're doing right now is they've taken that next. They're over the hump now.
Yep.
It's over. We've been waiting a long time for this. Even the last 2 years, we thought we had it. Been waiting a long time to see this.
And it was just like when Harbaugh, when you could tell they're going to play for overtime. 25 seconds left. We didn't know if they were going to try and get in the field goal range or not. Harbaugh just said, let's get a few yards. Let's take this knee. Let's go to overtime. Let's win this game. His whole demeanor, man, there was nothing that looked stressed out about that man. And I believe that ultimately, his team took that lead as well, man. Going into that overtime, they just looked like this is our game on both ends of the ball. That line of scrimmage on both sides took over. It was something Broder and I, we were all talking about in here during the stream. It's like, hey, what happened in the second half? Where is that dominance that we saw in the first half where they were controlling the offensive line and the defensive line? As soon as they got to overtime, it just looked like they were like, look, this is an opportunity right now to put away all the mistakes, all the special teams mistakes that cost them. Some of the drops, some of the off passes and everything. That overtime was just like, let's go out there and let's show this, that not just Alabama, but whoever we're playing next, that we really mean business, man.
Yeah. I just want to say this just a response to that.
Yeah.
Is that's how I feel about this next Monday. It's like, I know Harbaugh, like you said, like that overtime, it's like, hey, we know we mean business and we're going to go out. We're not losing this football game. I'm sure Jim looked all of them in the eyes and the huddle said, we're winning this football game right now. Like, this is over. Like, they let us get to overtime, we're winning it. That's how I feel about next Monday. Is Jim's going to have them ready to go and he's going to pregame look at, like, you guys have 60 minutes to go win a national championship and be remembered forever. And that's where I don't see this Michigan team, this defense, slipping up next week. I think they're going to be ready to go. Jim's going to have them ready to go. No matter if they play Washington, Texas, this team just feels a lot different than we've seen the last 2 years. Yep. A lot of guys came back. A lot of guys have matured. Your starting quarterback, he's in year 3 now. Like, this is a mature team now with a mature leader. Blake Corum's year 5, man. Like, these guys have been there. They know this. They're experienced. I can't see them slipping next week, man. Oh my gosh!
Got a question to pose to you guys. If you were Nick Saban in overtime, you win the toss. He deferred, so Michigan went on offense first. Are you doing it over again and choosing to grab the ball? Because I was thinking about it from the Michigan perspective. They just scored. I know like Booner said, put your defense out there to win the game. So having them, I'm normally a defer. Like I want, especially in college, I want someone else to go first. We know what we have to go do.
Yeah.
Do you think Nick Saban wants that back?
No, I don't know. That's a good Kool-Aid.
It's a tough spot.
That's a good question. I think in Michigan's favor, I think it woke up that defense even more. I think it really, when we are the strength of this team and we have an opportunity right now to be the reason why we can seal this game and go to the national championship.
Yep.
I believe Saban played that honestly in the Michigan's hands a little bit more. You gave the offense an opportunity to go out there and put the ball in the hands of Blake Corum. And you know what makes it so tough is when you're at the 25, 30-yard line, that's J.J. McCarthy's sweet spot for touchdown passes, long passes, and things of that nature. I think it put Alabama's defense in a weird position with all the pressure in the world to try and get a stop. Like with Michigan already having the lead, it put their defense in a position to be able to say, you know what, we can play with some cushion if we need. We can play up if we need. We can make sure that we got extra spies on Milroe if we need. I think it gave them all of the momentum. And if he had an opportunity to do it over, he probably goes and puts the ball in the hands of his offense because that second half, it seemed like they were able to get kind of some of the looks that they wanted to get.
Yeah, because even like at the end of the day too, like is Saban, like you're putting that Michigan defense out there with the chance to end the game, whether it's a turnover or like if they get a field goal and a turnover, whatever it is. If you put your offense out there and you're at the 25, if you have a kicker that can get that done, just go put pressure on Michigan. They should have put pressure on Michigan's offense.
Right.
They should have gone because no matter what, unless Michigan got a turnover, no matter what, they probably end that. They start the overtime with the minimum 3 field goal or a field goal, 3 points, and then the Michigan offense, especially with the special teams, man. The way the special teams was today, Saban he probably should have said, "Hey, let's do this. If we can't get a touchdown, let's put pressure on them with the field goal, and let's make them do that, and let's let our defense force a field goal."
That's a great point.
And that's something that he probably should have done. Going back and looking, maybe he thought that. Me right away, I would have deferred and said, "Hey, let's." I don't know. I almost
tricky.
I'm
normally deferring, but just with they just had the drive to tie the game, and then a big defensive stop. So you got the momentum. I say take the ball, just like Dan Campbell wants the ball in the first quarter of these last couple games. Put the ball in your offense. But from a Michigan standpoint, had your defense
it was like a
stop.
60-yard bomb
What happened?
from Michael Penix, man. Like a 60-yard bomb.
Ooh, Michael Penix?
Yeah.
Odunze.
That's crazy, man. That's what I don't want. Let's hit another break. When we go to break, we're going to figure out how long we guys want to do this for and keep rolling. Let's do this, though. I'm going to put in the chat. Let's do a little mailbag segment here, and we'll answer all of your guys' questions. And I do see a lot of people in here, real quick, talking about the Booner Path. The Booner Path, there is a Michigan Booner Path.
Let's go.
And that Michigan Booner Path is going to win a national championship next week. That's what's going to happen. And then guess what? The Booner Path in another week's going to win the first Lions playoff game at Ford Field ever.
Talk to him,
The Booner Path, Michigan, Lions, it is alive. All those people who want to troll me in the chat during the live stream about Michigan or tomorrow on shows, guess what? Ask them what their teams are doing right now. Michigan's playing in a national championship. Don't care about anything else. All right, let's hit mailbag. When we come back, we'll answer some questions.
The Blooner
Pass? I'll ask the people how long, or the crew here, how long we want to keep things going for, because I'm having fun. I'm not going to lie. I know I got a long drive home. I got to get up about 5 a.m. tomorrow, but I'm enjoying myself a little bit, fellas. All right, let's go to break. This is Woodward Nights. We'll be right back.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new Down Home Comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The Down Home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of Down Home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
All right, we are back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Whatever we're live on right now and you're watching it, we appreciate it. Hit that like button for us. Let's get the likes all the way up. We're going to do this. We're going to go for about another 10, 15 minutes for you guys. We're going to do some mailbag questions here. We're going to answer some stuff. If you guys have stuff about Michigan, whatever it is, we'll do that for the next 15 minutes. And then we'll end, maybe we'll talk Lions for like 2 or 3 minutes. But we'll kind of tease tomorrow, because tomorrow night, we wanted to do some Lions today, but we just
you have to wait for Woodward in Maine tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. T. Foss and Gabrielle D. Phillips.
That as well. And then tomorrow, we're going to have all of our reactions 8 to 10 tomorrow night for everything about that Lion, that controversial Lions loss, man. We're going to have all that tomorrow night. Nick, I know I'm going to go to you real quick. I know you wanted to address someone in the chat here. I'll let you do. I love everyone in the chat. ELE, Booner's
There's
ELE.
just so many trolls. It's like, get better at your trolling.
Talk to him.
Be more creative. Why is your life so miserable? You have to go at somebody else's fan base when they just won their first college football playoff game in history. That's what we're doing? Come on, get better. Be better.
Be better.
Be better.
Hey,
That's all I got.
What other fan bases have went to or won a college football playoff game?
Not the other one in town.
Okay, they're just making sure. Okay, because that's been the thing. Oh, well, we won just as many. Nope, now we have one. You don't. That's it. All right, let's get a mailbag. Or, brother, did you have anything with that?
Nope.
All right, mailbag. I always mispronounce his name. Elias Daniel.
Aloysius?
Yes, shout out. He's always in here supporting the boys. Appreciate you a ton. He said, are we basically screwed out of a second home playoff game because of this loss or no? I'm guessing that's Lions, correct?
Yes, gotta be.
Yes, no second. Actually, no.
There's
actually,
still a chance.
I'm
It's just difficult.
You're going to get the 3 seed, and that's probably, you're not out of the 2 seed, but you're basically out. With the 3 seed, though, on the first weekend, if that 2 seed, whether it's Dallas or the Eagles, lose and you win, there will be another home game in Ford Field. That's probably the best path to get a second home game.
Yeah,
which is possible. Like the way the Eagles have been playing, they lost. The way the Cowboys, I mean, we saw the Cowboys. Lions should have beat the Cowboys.
Cowboys play the Commanders next week, and Philly plays the Giants. The Lions need to beat the Vikings, and then Philly and Dallas both need to lose. So
I've given up on the 2 seed. I'm just more so looking.
Just saying that it's still a chance. I'm just telling that is the only path to the 2 seed. If that happens, you get the 2 seed.
Yeah, second home playoff game though. If the 2 seed loses, yep. That's where I feel like we have more of a chance to get one. Like I could see Dallas being Dallas and losing round 1.
Yes.
I could see the Eagles if they somehow get the 2 seed.
I hope Dallas.
I hope
Dallas gets the 2 seed. And even if they win the first round, go back to Dallas and deal with that. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. But that team is not going to lose at AT&T Stadium a second straight week.
I want to take this question, actually. This one's kind of personal for me as well. Mason Leach said, just bring this up, please. Pat McAfee doubted Michigan. Brandon Walker on Barstool hates Michigan. Paul Feinbein despises Michigan. Look who is all wrong now and looks like fools. Mason, I love that because I have spoke with Brandon Walker before. I have made bets with Brandon Walker before about coming on shows last year. If Michigan makes the college football playoffs, come on a show for us and come talk about Michigan because he was such a big Michigan hater. Handshake bet, didn't respond to anything. Spoke with him this year at the Michigan-Ohio State game. Yep, DM me, I'll come on. DM, nothing back. So yeah, all these Michigan haters, all these people who talk all these national media people, when you confront them or hey, come do this, they're gone. They don't want to talk about it. They move the goalposts. Things get moved. They write a new narrative. They keep doing it. Welcome to being great. Welcome to being one of the best in the business and one of the best in sports. That's what Michigan is right now, and that's what's going to keep happening. Just get used to it. The goalposts will always keep moving. People are always going to lie, do all this, whatever.
The Michigan alums.
A lot of haters. Pat McAfee is all about Alabama because he has Nick Saban on his show every Thursday.
Right.
All this ESPN narrative with Michigan, all of that, man.
Stephen A, the whole ESPN crew, man.
That's just what it is. You got to deal with it. That's why you just keep winning and take care of business.
Suck it, Pete Thamel.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we have here? Do you have any here, brother? Do we see any?
Sorry, I was just thinking about Paul Feinbaum and Pete Thamel. I did have a comment.
What's that?
Oh, no. It was going to be a troll comment just like the trolls. But it's something along the lines of like Michigan alums are going to build the bridges that the trolls live under or something like that. You know, the architects. Got a good architecture school.
Yeah.
But I don't want to stoop to their level under the bridge.
The away fan, he said the kicker for Michigan almost cost them the game with the missed field goal and PAT. Are you concerned going forward? Homie almost had to walk home if they lost. Yeah, that was a very concern because you definitely win in regulation if you don't miss that PAT and if you don't miss that field goal. That was definitely a situation. The special teams all around.
Those snaps were brutal.
That needs to be addressed this week.
Yes.
That needs to be, because that hasn't even been an issue all year. And for you to be in a college football playoff game in the Rose Bowl and all of a sudden that just is like the biggest concern and you almost lost the game.
That's one of those,
in regards to it. That's brutal.
That's one of the side effects of the week schedule. That not being tested, not fielding a punt in a close game at the end of the game. That's just with their cupcake schedule. They haven't been through those moments, and that's important when you get down to this. So hopefully they learn from it. Harbaugh and the coaching staff's going to put them through the ringer, put that whole special teams unit through the ringer to get ready for the national championship.
Oh yeah. What else do we have here, fellas? Let's keep this thing rolling.
Got any more questions?
Speaking of that national championship,
Teabag.
14-14 right now. Both teams have not converted on third down. So that's where they're sitting right now in the second quarter.
It is. It's a good. I think Texas wins this game, and I just put a bet on the over about 10 minutes ago.
Took Washington money line before that plus cash, threw a pretty good parlay on there. Pretty good wage.
KG, what you got for us?
Hey, I hate to bring this question back around. I know we ain't got a lot of time left, but now that the national championship is actually within reach, If they win it, does Harbaugh stay? Yes or no?
Ooh, brother.
Ooh. I almost don't hold me to this again. I almost think if he wins it,
he's an untouchable man. That's how I look at it. If he goes in and wins the national championship, he's a made man at that point. They haven't done enough to where they'll get sanctioned or get the championship removed or anything. What can they possibly do to Jim Harbaugh if they go win the national championship to where he has to go to the NFL?
Yeah, that's the key. They can't take away wins and losses. Like they can. The NCAA doesn't want to.
Exactly.
They don't want to take it away from a national championship.
They
That's
haven't
embarrassing.
done anything egregious enough to warrant that. So he's a made man if they win.
That's a good point. The evidence suggests they have not done anything egregious enough yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
In fact, the evidence against Ryan Day is building up.
I think with Harbaugh too, kind of this NFL whole thing, he did sign the new agent this week, which was interesting enough, especially during the week of the college football playoffs. But I don't know. If you win it, it's like, all right, he did his job. He can go. I am a little kind of concerned the fact that there was an offer on the table during all this stuff earlier in the year, didn't sign it, and then there was an offer kind of out like an increase, and a pretty major increase within the last couple weeks, and that still hasn't been signed.
Yeah.
That the fact that they threw everything at him a couple weeks ago. I remember on Sunday Football, like the NFL Network or something reported, I think it might have been like Ian Rappaport or something, reported it and was like, this is the new contract that was negotiated and the offer that was put out there.
Right.
When you get a second offer and it's that much higher than the rest, and you don't sign it there, that is where I get a little like, but we might not get the deal done.
You got to think he'll listen to NFL. He'd be kind of stupid to not listen to the NFL offers. But ultimately, you got to look at what he's built here over this stretch of time and him finally getting the success that he's wanted. I don't see him just walking away from that just so easily to chase a Super Bowl. It's no guarantee he'll even be able to equate to this level of the NFL at this point. So I don't know.
Yeah, and over the last couple of weeks when this contract's been out there on the table, if you're considering the NFL, before you make a decision, you want to see how the season plays out. Like, see which of the teams you're considering gets the number one pick. Like, possibly Chicago is going to get the number one pick, but are they gonna bring Eberflus back? Also, and this may sound crazy to you guys with everything that's going around, Harbaugh doesn't want to be the center of attention or be the distraction to his team, especially in this stretch where they need to be ultra focused on Alabama. He's not going to sign even if it means his contract at Michigan, he doesn't want to sign it and have that be the talk of it'll be a scandal of Michigan signing a coach under. It would be all the talk leading up to this game, and there has been a little chirping with hiring the agent and just the possibility it follows Harbaugh. But if he signed that contract, that's taking the focus off of their task at hand.
Yeah, and it is interesting too because if they do win the national championship next Monday, there's going to be more money as well. And that's where he could also be waiting. Like, I could be overthinking and being like, he didn't sign it because he wants to go to the NFL.
Or he could
just be waiting. Like, let me see what we do, and then we'll kind of go from there. That could be a very real discussion. Or to be honest, I don't know how old he is. Maybe he's just like, I'm hanging it up. I won the national championship at Michigan. I'm going to be the best coach ever at Michigan to ever coach here. Yeah. That's it. I don't think I've heard anyone actually talk about him retiring, but he is at that age where it's like he could do that. He's made a ton of money. He doesn't have to deal with all this stuff anymore, the investigation. He doesn't have to go to the NFL and deal with all these players and stuff. He
lives and breathes football, and that's how he grew. That's in his blood. But he also likes hanging with his chickens in the chicken coop.
I'm ready. If he wants to walk out on top, Jim, you've done so much for this program to restore it back to 3 back-to-back Big Ten championships. Going for that natty next Monday. Let's go. If he wants to walk out, he can do that, and I don't think any Michigan fan's going to blame him.
No. Shout out Nick. Shout out the boys too. Showing out tonight, man. We didn't have to do a show today. They told us we were off. Made a couple tags and say, hey, let's do a stream and let's do Woodward Nights after a little post game. All of you guys in the chat, Michigan fans, whether you went there or not, we love all you guys. Congratulations on a national championship. Listen, real quick, KG single shot.
I got you.
The Michigan Wolverines. They will be national champions next Monday. They're going to go in there. They're going to beat Texas or Washington, whoever it is. Blake Corum is going to just itch his name in the history books. Michigan, J.J. McCarthy, Jim Harbaugh, the whole defense, the best defense in the country, one of the best defenses of all time. They will itch their name in history next Monday, and Michigan will bring home the national championship back to Michigan, and all of us will be able to enjoy it. I cannot wait to talk more about it tomorrow night on Woodward Nights. We're going to be talking Detroit Lions tomorrow. We're going to talk everything tomorrow, 8 to 10 p.m. Make sure you guys tune in. I think that's it. Bro, do you have anything else? What else you have?
I just want to say go blue.
Go blue, baby.
Talk to you guys
Hail
tomorrow.
to the victors,
Hail to
man.
the victors, baby.
Let's go, man. What a year, man. And it's one more game, 60 more minutes until they can go win a national championship. I cannot wait for that moment, man. Tomorrow, we're going to break down as well the whole controversial Detroit Lions thing at 8 o'clock.
Please.
I cannot wait to talk about that tomorrow. I have some things to say and get off my chest. I was screaming on the post game after. I don't know if you guys tuned into that. I was in there screaming. Me, Spenny, Stick, we were going at it. So I'm excited. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. What's up, Nick?
I was saying I was on the post game with you. Let's go, baby. Go effing blue. We are going for the natty, baby. Woodward Nights, 8 p.m. tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Hey, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. Woodward in Maine, 7 a.m. And then
baby.
Morning Woodward Show, 8 o'clock right after that. Big D Energy. Let's go see if there's some more field goals that are getting, or field goal posts that are getting moved tomorrow from 11 to 1. E&E after that, the Michigan Show, heavyweights, and we will be back live tomorrow, 8 to 10 p.m. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Go Blue. 60 more minutes until a national championship. We love you guys.
Toodles, my G's.